What's up, dog? What's up, Will Smith? How you doing, man?
What's up, y'all? It is Will Smith with Red and Bold. I'm here with my co-host Joe Mobley, and we are here to talk Chiefs football. We're gonna jump in. So we know it's been a little minute, but we are back, and we're gonna talk about these past games. You know what I'm saying? And the first topic we're gonna jump right into it is the Chiefs are gonna get everybody's best shot. You heard? And so you know what I'm saying. If you look at the games, they've all been close games, kind of coming down to the wire. You know what I'm saying? We all living on the edge, our hearts beating fast. And it's like we have to understand that there are going to be some games like this. People don't think the Chiefs can blow anybody out anymore. They say we haven't blown anybody out in a long time. The last time we really blew somebody out was I believe it was last season when we played the Bears. We won like 41-10 or something like that. But there were also four other games. Blah, 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 blah. There were four other games in which we won by 10 or more points. And so if you winning by double digits, I mean, this is the NFL, bro. You know what I'm saying? That means your offense is balling out. If you look at these past few games, we are the defending champs. And I believe the Chiefs have been getting everybody's best shot since they won the Super Bowl in 2019, bro. After that, like it's like everybody wants to beat us. Nobody wants us to three-peat. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to get everybody's best shot on offense, defense. Teams are going to do things that they don't normally do. Teams are going to go for it on fourth down. You know what I'm saying? Where they probably
Well, I mean, you can't, and I understand it, and I respect it. But as you stated, you cannot provoke, you cannot approach an unconventional winning opponent most of the time in a conventional manner and hope for an unconventional outcome, which would be a win. It's just like you said, bro. Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna give us their best shot. Um, I just truly don't believe that it's gonna be anything uh good enough. I think thus far we've faced what would be considered the viable, respectable opponents, and they were prepared. It just at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Um, you can probably speak more to the takeover in Atlanta than I ever could, but I mean, to see a to see a team uh, give it everything that they had, I don't think that they could have asked for anything better. Kirk Cousins is any you can make a list up. We want to do top 10. He's in that. I honestly believe you want to do top five. I think for me, I put Kirk Cousins in that. I like his preparation and the way he comes to the game. Um, Atlanta definitely is a viable opponent now for the Falcons, and I say that because you have Kirk Cousins, and he's a really 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 good quarterback who's going to help your locker room and going to help your offense in a totally different way. But all said and done, every opponent we've faced thus far, everybody can say what they want. Uh, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, nobody, didn't give it their best shot. I think probably the most disabling or the victory that I saw that probably was most like just defeating and demoralizing was the Bengals. I've never seen anybody look like that after a loss.
oh
I
man,
mean,
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
dude old Chase was just borderline beside himself. What do you
Yeah,
do?
he can't
Yeah.
stand the Chiefs. Like he doesn't want to say Mahomes' name. And then of course, Bengals fans and other fans were talking about the referee and the pass interference. It was definitely pass interference. And then you go to the Falcons game where they could have called pass interference on on Cook against Pitts, I believe. But you know what's wild about that play, bro? If Cook gets his head turned around, it's more than likely an interception, bro.
Yeah, more than
Like the where
likely
the ball was located, if he turned his head around, he more than
he
likely would
could
have intercepted that ball. So
certainly. And I mean the thing is said and done. Now everybody say what they want to say, but in my opinion, okay, so we bring up that situation there, and I want to be respectable in every way. But let's say we bring that situation up in regards to the calls. Um, yeah, if he turns his head around, is certainly more than likely possibly an interception. But one thing it also is it's definitely not a penalty. So it's
yeah,
not even something to discuss. But when we get to the Falcons game, I felt like, I mean, they gave y'all like three, four first down
yeah,
calls in a
yeah,
row
yeah,
and help. I mean, they walked you to the end zone. I don't really know how you don't feel, like you got your just due to
yeah,
some extent, but even your fellow analysts and commentators are already, it's baffling to some of them because it's like you have people walking around on the Chiefs team saying, hey, um, we're doing what we got to do to win, but we can do better. I don't know. I think that people are truly giving their best shot. I don't even know what to say about Baltimore right now because I didn't think some of these teams would have multiple losses at this point. But some of them do, and I don't know how you take that or
hmm
how somebody takes that. But yeah, we're gonna get their best shot, man.
And the wild
I
thing is
yeah,
like I feel like we've
definitely.
been getting most people's like A game, right? And the Chiefs have yet to play at their A game on offense. I think their best game offensively was the Ravens game, but even then they left points out on the field, in which they could have had probably two more touchdowns. They had like three drops, one with P Ryan, where I think if Mahomes throws a better ball or floats it a little more, that P Ryan catches it. So, I'll kind of let him slide. But Pacheco dropped the pass. I believe Kelsey did. I believe that was like a B- game offensively because we settled for field goals on some occasions. And but the games after that, it's like, Mahomes had two interceptions, then one interception for whatever reason. Lou Anarumo, he does well defensively scheming, but there were guys open. If you watch some of the film, there were like Worthy's been open quite a bit. And so it's just gonna take Mahomes, like he said, getting back to his fundamentals, right? And
But
we're
even
gonna
at
talk
that,
about that next.
yeah, but I'm thinking even like from a perspective of, in all fairness to your coaching staff offensively, I mean, if anybody's even been going so far as to, be an adamant or pretty serious Madden player, when you're playing against somebody, even on a video game, and you're looking at the personnel that you have available, and kind of realize it don't matter if I pick A, B, C, D, E, F, don't matter what set I'm in, I'm gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So if I can do those things, how concerning, I just don't know that the challenge for the offensive staff now is so much about us putting up as many points as we can as them being able to say, how do we even calm down to the point where we can utilize the personnel that we have? Oh, Rice, you got to go sit down for a second. Well, Juju's ready. How do you deal with that?
Mm-hmm.
You lost
Yeah.
Rice and brought in Juju Smith and never lost a beat. You did. There was no fall off. He came in and embarrassed the gentleman attempting to defend him in notable fashion. He doesn't even want the pressure that or the responsibility that Rice has who's playing out of his mind right now, and not to mention Worthy. And we're to a point where, yeah, Kelsey's still the greatest tight end of all time, but now he has to almost consider accepting the role of being the greatest decoy of all time.
Yeah,
How do
he's
I as an
yeah.
offensive play caller
Hmm.
deal with the fact that I got personnel springing out of my ears? I'm up to my ears and eyeballs in personnel. What are they serious? People think P Ryan is a joke. And then this week we get to see Kareem Hunt
Yeah,
think that
let's go
he's
ahead and
not
talk about that. Like, let's
right.
talk about what Kareem
Crazy.
Hunt can bring to this offense, even if he's like 80% of what he was before. But he's Kareem Hunt is excited. So, what kind of impact do you believe he will have on this offense, Kareem Hunt?
I know what I hope, but I also believe that, when you look at the assessment presented by Matt Nagy, when you see what Andy Reid is saying, when you see what the coaches are saying about what they've seen, um, it sounds like Kareem Hunt is ready to take care of business. And if that's 80% to the point where Matt Nagy's like, man, he looks really, really good. Well, how do you deal with that? But you got Carson Steele over here, holding up the bloodstained banner with no problem. You didn't even play Kareem Hunt in Atlanta, and I don't care what anybody says. Let's be real. He was ready, but as usual, we take a conservative approach because offensively,
Mhm.
what can you not do? Well,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't.
what can you got the best? You have the best center two guard combination between Trey Smith, between Trey Smith, Joe Tooney, and our there's not anything in my opinion that they're in there with the top of the league in that regard. Once your tackles really get settled down and you make a decision there, I'm sorry, but if Carson Steele is what I believe he is as far as his ability to maintain his assignments and discipline as far as blocking,
Mhm.
I like Pacheco because yes, the energy he runs with, I haven't seen anybody run with that kind of energy really. But Kareem Hunt got a whole different level of finesse. And I still stand on this. I don't know that we have anybody better at catching the ball out of the backfield than Kareem Hunt. I feel like he was an exceptional receiver from the backfield. And if
Yeah.
that continues, I mean, pick your I mean, you have to pick your poison. So you don't want Kelsey to get started because a lot of people feel like that ignites the whole offense. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, but if you give all your attention to Kelsey, I mean, Rice again, people are talking about he's on pace for 1,000. I'm thinking this dude's on pace for 1,500.
Well, here's the thing where Kareem can, and I'm excited about this. I've been wanting to have Kareem Hunt back for like years. I've been like, man, I wish we could have him back out. There
Yep.
was a time, I think it was last year, the year before, where he ended up being a free agent again, and he ended up going back to Cleveland. I was like, during that free agency period, I'm like, man, can we get Kareem back? Can we get Kareem back? And so what he brings in last year, he had 9 touchdowns. And so what he brings to this team, bro, on that goal line, I think that's where he's going to be the most effective because he just has a nose for the end zone. And you brought up the fact, let me see here. Can you hear me, Joe?
I'm back. I know. A little
Okay.
windy.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
You back. Yeah.
okay. And so at the goal line,
Mhm.
my connection starting to mess up. Sorry, everybody. But
It's all good. It's all. Hey,
so
brother,
what so what
you are
else
weathering a hurricane. You are weathering a
you
hurricane.
see? So
Yeah.
coming in the end zone at the goal line,
Uh-huh.
because he does catch out of the backfield. I think he's going to be. I think he is our best. Once you have Kareem Hunt on your team, I think he's the best receiving running back you have on your team at this point,
Yep.
right? Because we know
Yep.
what he
Yep.
can
Yep.
do. He has good hands. He has a nose for the goal line or for the end zone. And so I
Uh-huh.
think in that red zone, when we
Yep.
get close to the goal line, man, I think that's going to be like there's no reason we shouldn't be coming out with touchdowns versus field goals, and that's where we're kind of struggling. And I know one thing about when you get close down in that end zone when it comes to like trying to pass it, it's tighter space. It's a lot more difficult to throw a passing touchdown with that tighter space. You can still do it, of course, but it's just there's less space for wide receivers to work with and do the routes and all of that thing. So your best thing is like, okay, can we run this ball in or can we do a toss out the wheel route to the running back? And that's where I mean Kareem excels in those wheel routes. He excels in the screen game. You know what I'm saying? That boy can run some behind some. He knows how to navigate his blocks, break tackles. Plus, he also has some wiggle to him. And that's what Isaiah Pacheco is lacking in his game, that wiggle where you got one man to beat essentially most of the time he end up getting tackled and like, bro, you could have had a touchdown if you beat this one man. You
Right.
got a little juke move to you, and that's something Pacheco just doesn't have. But Kareem does have that to where you can either stiff arm the guy or you can put a move on him or break a
Yeah.
tackle. And so
Yeah.
I think he's gonna help out our goal line, or when we're in that red zone, when we're right at the goal line, we need a touchdown versus a field goal, 2 yard line, 3 yard line. You can give it to Hunt. I think you can even give it to Steele in those situations, in those in short down yardage. And so, yeah, man, I'm excited about Kareem, man. I think he's definitely going to help our offense. I think he's excited more so than anything because he's back with the team he started with. He never really wanted to leave. You know, we all know what the situation was and why the Chiefs let him go. We don't have to go into that and go deep into that. We know what that is. It's years behind us. But I know that he's excited and he's going to want to play his best. It's something about adding a guy who wants to get it, felt like he probably should have got a ring, right? And now he has an opportunity to get a ring and also be a part of history in three-peating. You know what I'm saying?
I think that, you're hitting it on all cylinders, bro. I just, my thing with it is that you bring in what we all hope, the piece that we all hope that we had never lost. And then even in the midst of losing him, you still go to the pinnacle of the professional sport that you're in. And now you have that piece back along with um improved and better support. I often wonder sometimes if they're looking at their playbook and Andy's kind of like, man, bro, I don't even know what to do. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick a tiger, touch his toe. I'm wondering if he's literally like, like if it's like overload, like literally to
Mhm.
a point where my hope is that we don't begin to overanalyze, overthink. Like, man, just have fun. Because
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, the offense is equipped as best any offense in the NFL could hope for. I know that Buffalo's playing out of their mind right now offensively, but Buffalo doesn't have they don't have the tools we got, man. They did. I mean, our wide receiving core,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
on paper, has to be, numero uno. And I appreciate it. Maybe not having Higgins uh
I mean Hollywood Brown.
clarifies things some for
I mean
them in
Hollywood.
Buffalo, you know. But I think that, like you said, it's all cylinders. You put Kareem Hunt in there, and you're talking about the best catching, running back that we have out of the backfield. Understands screens. He has the ability to be a bruiser, but he has much more finesse. He does have a little bit more wiggle, diggle, and jiggle to him, and the
Wiggle diggle.
likelihood of you seeing him where I often think sometimes, Pacheco, are your eyes open while you're running? Or are you just clenching the ball as hard as you can and
Yeah.
running as a freight train? And God help anybody and anything that gets in your way. And then even after you get tackled, again, I've talked about this before. The man gets up and runs another 5, 10 yards. And it's like, I'm sorry, but everybody had that one kid in their class who I'm just saying you had him. And no,
Oh,
no,
man.
no, 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 I ain't trying to throw no shade, but the kid walked on his tippy toes. His calves were big, he was fast, and that's Pacheco. I don't care. I mean, the dude
Pacheco,
just he
Mr.
got a
Tippy
lot of energy,
Toes.
bro. I mean, he does. The
Oh
guy's
man.
amazing. I can't wait to have him back. But my thing is, what do you do with a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch where you have a bruiser like Pacheco. You've got somewhat of again, you got Kareem Hunt who can come in after you warm down a bit. You can put Carson still wherever you want. P. Ryan is pretty good out of the backfield catching the ball too. And a lot of people are already saying, after we get done with our bye, strong chance that Clyde is ready. Now,
Mhm.
this the thing with Clyde. Is Clyde a flashy dancer, bruiser? No, none of that. But he is dependable. So he's going to come in and do exactly what you tell him to do.
Yeah, I think that's a dilemma for me. It's like because if Kareem Hunt is performing at an
Right.
optimal level like he should, or
Right.
he's playing well, like how do you still have Carson Steele who's deserves some touches also. You still have P Ryan, like you're not going to continue to mix in you because sometimes you have guys that are kind of in a rhythm. Because if you try to do too much and keep mixing those guys out, then
It's
you
just
kind
too
of
much.
yeah, it's too much. And so it's like, do you does Clyde dress? Is he active? And you know what I'm saying? Do you deactivate Kareem Hunt? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's gonna be interesting to see how they work that.
I mean,
In
it's the
this,
same situation in Pittsburgh right now.
mhm.
And I mean, with the quarterback thing, let's keep it 100. I mean, come on. What are we expecting? All said and done. Maybe we're wrong, but I don't see them changing the situation. I appreciate him coming back and being well and healthy, but if it ain't broke,
You talking about Russ coming back?
yeah, I
Mhm.
appreciate Russell Wilson coming back, but if it ain't broke, why would we make a change after a successful, 3 games? The kid is
Mhm.
playing out of his mind. I mean, right now he's getting the job done. I just don't think I think Andy is smarter than that. Kareem's
Mhm.
not having any problems. There's no trouble. The man is performing. I think that if anything, I make sure that Pacheco is learning from him.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
what we need to see you mold your skill set into the ability to do what he's doing. They can say what they want, but I believe Patrick Mahomes is terribly excited. I
Oh
can't even
yeah.
begin to
Yeah.
tell you how many times I saw passes thrown to Kareem Hunt. And I was like, he didn't, I stopped looking at the TV because I'm like, he didn't catch that. Like, and then it's like, oh, he did catch it.
Oh yeah. He got hands, man. He
He
got
got,
hands.
but that's my thing though. Like, that's not, is some of that talk? Can you glean that?
Yeah.
Can
Some of
can
that's
you
just
do that?
natural
Some of that's just
gifting and
it's
ability,
God
bro.
given natural too.
Can't
I
coach it,
think
you
that
know.
it's gonna be just what you said. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them things where somebody's gonna end up on the practice squad at
Yeah.
best.
So
You know,
cool, man. So we got Hunt coming back. We're excited about that. Let's go ahead and talk about Mahomes right quick, man. Mahomes is not playing up to Mahomes standards. What do you think it is, man? Like, I think he made a statement on what he knows it to be, because we know how good he is. We know what he can do in his ability, and we can watch when we're watching. We can see that he's not playing up to what we're his normal standard or up to par. The first game he did have 291 yards passing. There was some uh yards and touchdowns and the points left on the field. That wasn't on Mahomes. He actually had a good game. Probably this past game was probably his, I'm gonna say, worst statistically. Because he had 217 yards versus the Falcons. 66% completion percentage. First game versus the Ravens, you had 71% completion percentage, 291 yards, 104 passer. No, wait a minute, hold on. That's not it. The passer rating. Hold on. Yeah, 101.9 passer rating. This past game he had 87.2. He's had interceptions in all three games, one versus the Ravens, two versus the Bengals, one versus the Falcons, which we were all kind of saying, like, yo, he's probably going to have one versus the Falcons because Justin Simmons typically gets an interception. And guess what? Justin Simmons had an interception. And so, but yeah, man, you could tell he's not, I don't know if he's not comfortable. Some people are saying he's not comfortable with the left tackle yet. Um, he's saying that is his feet and basically getting his footwork back together, his fundamentals and his mechanics. And so once he does that, I think he'll get back on track. I'm not really too worried about it, man. We know every now and then quarterbacks have some bad games or where they're not, you can't be 300 yards every game like we were used to that. And I don't think it's needed because of the defense that we have. I think he's kind of like, you know what, we have the defense, take a chance here, but he's also there. Sometimes I don't think he's seen. I won't say seeing the field, but there have been some times where guys have been open, and I don't know if Mahomes is locked in on his target and like this is who he's going to throw it to. But I definitely expect him to clean it up and do what Mahomes does, man. You know.
I mean, he just has dude got skills, God given ability again that belongs to him. And I think that at the end of the day, thus far, this is the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen in my lifetime. And most people who are more seasoned than me would agree. How do you, as a person or as a professional, handle yourself when you're at, you know, basically a candy store of the resources that anybody would hope for or desire? I mean, for all practical purposes, even I ain't bring up Hollywood. I ain't bring up Hollywood. But I'm just saying, for all practical purposes, what do you do when, as a quarterback with his skill set, he gets to go to Mr. Bulky's for his resources. Like every time. The dude is at Mr. Bulky's. I can hand it to you. I can throw it to him. I could throw it to him. I could just go ahead and throw this down the field as hard as I can and tell all of y'all meet in the middle and go get it. Or what I mean, what do you do? And I think that some of it is just overloaded resources. I mean, it just literally, that's my opinion. It's overloaded resources. There's so many viable choices every time he says hike. And not to mention that, but your coaches are over there. If they're calling the plays, Andy's like, good God, I don't, do I want to do that to you? Want to do that to you? I don't know. We just run it down your throat. Yeah, we just do that. Give Carson the ball. Tell him to go ahead and tap into that Superman. Just throw everybody power. We're gonna let Carson do a look. What are you gonna do? And that's me. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could come up with a standard scheme or process, but our offense is built to I'm gonna say not to say built, but our offense at this point in time is equipped very early in the season to have their way. I don't know of a defense that's really prepared to deal with our offense, even if it's humming at 70%. And if what we've been seeing is 65, because our own, GOAT quarterback does not feel like he's operating at the most efficient level that he can, good God, what's going to happen when he does?
Yeah, I think that's a
I
scary
don't,
thing, bro. That's because
it
they
it
haven't.
won't sour. It will
Mhm.
only sweeten.
Yeah, they haven't played. Like I said, the offense has not played, and Mahomes has not had an A game for real, and that should be scary for. And they're still winning, right? So that should be scary for the rest of the league. Like, because once they figure it out and they get back to doing Chiefs football, because the fact of the matter is, like, he doesn't have to focus in or lock in on any one player.
He
He
doesn't.
doesn't have to force any passes. There's always
No,
going to
he
be
doesn't.
somebody open. There's a check down. There's um, a route where um, that somebody's going to be open. Or and if somebody's not open, he typically will have that lane to where he can run, you know,
Right.
and he can create time and he can, get outside the pocket and buy more time. If somebody's going to get open, or he can run for the first down or get positive yardage. And so I don't think he has to force any passes to Kelsey or force any passes to anybody. Just find an open man. And if he gets back to just taking kind of what's there, and like I said, there's been some guys. I'm excited because I'm about to get access to the all 22 footage, which I haven't had access to.
That's
Um,
crazy though,
and
Will.
once I look at that, man, I'm gonna be really kind of dissecting and kind of checking out some more plays, man, and seeing,
But
what's been
that's
run.
but Will, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Even on the interceptions we've seen him throw, you could almost, I mean, maybe one of them was truly just, oh, I shouldn't have threw that. But two of them I know for sure was, do I throw it to him or do I throw it to him?
Yeah, he had some guys open. Like I know Rice has
Yeah.
been open. Like dang, Rice is wide open. Or
I mean,
even
the
that
last one,
interception with Gray
right,
to the end
right.
zone.
They
He
crossed each other.
well, he
And the
underthrew that
bottom
one.
line was, you know, Worthy, well, they looked at it, at least what was said in the press conference was Worthy was running the correct route, but he had to take up because if he hadn't basically pulled up and not finished his route, he was going to collide with, you know, I,
No,
I,
I didn't. It
I
didn't look like they were gonna collide because
well,
Rice was behind him, and then
yeah,
if he had kept running, man, he would have caught that joint in stride. I think there was just a
I,
miscommunication or a
yeah,
misunderstanding.
but that's what they said though was based on
I know, I
what it
know.
was supposed to happen. Worthy ran. Worthy was running the right route. Whatever Rice was supposed to do for the referee, then and of course, Andy didn't highlight it or point out that's not his style, and I appreciate that. But bro, these guys are. It's man, I don't even know how do you handle that? Because
Yeah.
Juju was he wasn't just icing on the cake, he was candles on the cake.
Hey, Juju's a good blocker too.
Yeah,
Low key, like you got to look at these guys, man. They the reason I think what some teams don't understand, some fan bases do not understand, is the closeness that these guys have as far as relationship and how they want to see each other win and be successful. They don't care who's getting the receptions or the yards or the touchdowns. They just want to win. And that mindset of it doesn't have to be me, it can be my teammate is, and you got some guys that you, because we've seen, like, take Stephon Diggs, that whole situation for instance, where he gets upset he's not getting the ball, and of course you got to have the attitude, like, man, if you give me the ball, I know we can win, I know I can make a play, but at the same time you have to have just that team mentality of, okay, if I'm not getting the ball, we're still winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to cause a fuss about it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not, it's different when if you're losing and you just have this conflict within your team. But these guys root for each other, and that's a
yeah. I
culture
mean,
that's not on every team. You know what I'm saying?
but you're already seeing. I mean, to support the point that you're making, you're already seeing teams that have talent or, where people are talented. I mean, Jamar Chase, he's already made it plain. He has no intention on renegotiating or reestablishing a contract, it sounds like, with the Bengals. So where do you go from there?
Mm.
He's already said it. So you're not happy. Where are you heading? And my thing with it is, has it become a thing where, hey, if you want to go out with a ring and you still got a little bit of gas left in your tank, Kansas City's more than willing to consider you.
That
And
would
and
be.
I mean, we're hiring. I'm just saying, but and I call them mercenaries, but we are contracting, are working with mercenaries who have said, "Look, I went and got the bag. Juju got the bag. You know what I'm saying? He went and got it. A lot of people don't even see it yet. They said they want to say. I'm gonna tell you who else is trying to be decent and professional, and he can say what he wants. Tyreek got the bag. He already got it.
Who?
Tyreek.
Oh, Tyreek.
Yeah, and it's no. My thing with it is, especially for people who have experienced it. Like the dude said on Waterboy, ain't nothing better than one, but two, and ain't nothing better than two,
Two, but
but
three.
three, and ain't nothing better than
Within
three,
three. Okay.
but four, but two in a row,
One,
and
two,
nothing better
three,
than two in a
four,
row, but three in a row,
fifth.
or five. My thing with it is, if all thing remains constant, Lord allows and blesses them to stay healthy, man. Um, you got a real competitive team with a lot of talent
Yeah.
that can dig themselves out of holes. I mean, you could be up on them probably by what, two, three
Shit.
touchdowns, and I still wouldn't turn the channel.
Yeah, I'll never count. As long as it's time
Yeah,
on the clock,
yeah.
bro, I'm watching to the end because I know regardless how much we may get down, man, the Chiefs are always in it. They're never out of it. And once Mahomes gets back to playing like Mahomes, and not to say that he hasn't,
But
because
Will, that's a new thing.
he's made some throws, bro. Even in the games where he's kind of, if you want to say struggle per se, he's made some throws that is, you know. And so once he gets back to who he is, bro, it's gonna be ridiculous. Like, what are teams going to do? What are
I don't
teams going to
even.
do?
I don't. I mean, and I like I said, it didn't used to be like that for us, and you can certainly second what I'm saying. But Will, it used to be if we went down by 14,
Shoot,
you
10,
could
maybe 7.
maybe. But if it was 14, you gone outside to start your barbecue grill. You can go outside to start sprouting seeds, or you go do something else. You can go look at the grass grow.
Start washing the
Because
dishes, you know what I'm saying? Not even
there's nothing that I see right now that, like you said, if we got time on the clock, more times than not, that game is far from over. And now more so than any, I think that's the thing is when you do have that game where, your coaching staff and everybody's on one accord and plays are getting called to maximize the personnel you have available. What is that game going to look like? Where is that game at? Is that
mm,
game 6, game 7, game 8? Wherever that game is, God help the team who's responsible for playing these guys. Because
mhm,
I really believe that unless you catch us in a downfall, you got a problem. People need to understand we didn't win the Super Bowl last year necessarily because our offense was phenomenal.
mm,
It was our defense.
mm.
And our defense, again, they're finding, they're still finding their way, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, they're
and even in
mhm,
that, they're making good, solid decisions to sustain us being in a situation where you're giving Patrick Mahomes a chance at the end. You're giving Butker a chance to win the game. I just don't see anything with this. And literally, you hear commentators saying, you better not leave him a tick on the clock.
and here's
Don't
the
do
thing,
it.
bro. Defensively,
Don't do it.
once they start playing Jaden Hicks more, because that dude is a dog.
Yep.
The few plays Jaden Hicks is a dog, and we'll be getting Charles Omenihu back for that
Oh
pass
my
rush.
God.
And
Are
bro,
you
a healthy
serious?
Charles Omenihu, and he's been tweeting and stuff and saying, like, hey, so it sounds like it may be sooner than we thought for getting Charles Omenihu back, but adding him back to this defense, man, is going to be definitely much needed. And bro, like
I
they
just
they
don't
did.
think, I just don't even, it. Will, you know how you used to go out on Madden and you would build your team and you would just choose whoever you wanted. And then after you would build your team, then you would build yourself, a little magic offensive player. You build
Mhm.
yourself your dream defensive player. I had a linebacker one time and I built him so tough. If he hit you, the ball was coming out.
Mm.
Guaranteed fumble. I mean, I built him like that. You know what I'm saying? But my point with it is you have personnel. I just hope they ready to pay somebody gotta get their pocketbook out to pay I'm
McDuffie,
trying to think of who is our our personnel man. Why is his name
who
leaving?
Brett Veach.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get ready to pay Veach because the way they've set this thing up, I mean, they're breeding excellence and they're doing it in-house, and you're seeing it happen with picks that aren't your first and second round.
Mhm.
That's tough, bro. I mean, look at our cornerbacks. They already talking about some of these cornerbacks. Nobody has shown themselves to be the next need yet. But I don't know that it's a 911 emergency if our safeties continue to, get on the same page and communicate more as the season progresses. This is, I want
So yeah.
somebody to pinch me
So yeah,
because
man, I'm excited. I'm
it's real.
excited, man.
It doesn't
About the
seem
rest of the
real.
season.
I'm on the boat,
Mhm.
and I'm watching Atlanta play. Who was Atlanta? They were playing Philadelphia, I think.
Yeah.
Might have been Philly.
Uh-huh.
Pretty sure it was. But, they were all happy at the end because, they won the game. And I'm on, cruising, Icon to see. Shout out to Royal Caribbean. That ain't free. I want a free cruise. Anyway. So nonetheless, I'm just saying, um, you see these Philly fans, they're all, sad because they lost. The Falcon fans are sad. Then they turn around and see my Kansas City Chiefs hat, and they're like, oh man. I said, well, who y'all play next week? I didn't mean, I mean, I didn't want to be petty, but I was. Y'all play next week.
Oh
Oh,
man.
shut up. Turning, oh, shut up. I said, well, it's not over till the fat lady sings. You got a chance. But we got off that boat. I let them know. See y'all Sunday.
Yeah.
Lost. You already. I mean, you already know the deal. You're going down. So
Now I will say offensively, I feel like Andy Reid has started playing a little conservative towards the end where we could put games away instead of like going for touchdowns and punting it and kind of depending on our defense. But I think we need to be more aggressive in those times where like if we get a first down, this game is over. Go for the neck, man. Stop being
yeah,
conservative and
it's never
and
been his
and playing not to
MO,
lose. He's been playing
and
not to
it's
lose lately.
frustrating. Yeah,
It is very
it,
frustrating.
it's very frustrating because he goes into a mode where he's playing not to lose, but he's also playing not to expose remotely anything that is playoff worthy as far as what the offense is capable of. And so it becomes very vanilla. And we're sitting up like, man, can you go ahead and just, finish him like they say on Mortal Kombat, finish him? Like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you over there? Like the countdown be going down and you can do the little, move or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, why you just walk up and slap the dude? You could have pulled his whole spine out.
Finish him.
Yeah, finish him. You know what I'm saying? And Andy Reid is like, "Do you know how to play?" I don't think you know how to. You don't know any other coach, do you, to pull out his spine? I'm just like, that's my point. No, I totally agree,
Mhm.
and I get some level of being conservative for the sake of the health of the team, but sometimes it's really time to like,
Yeah.
hey man,
Let's put the dagger in
it's
him.
yeah, it's been nice. Appreciate y'all allowing us to participate and offer quality entertainment to the fans of the NFL. But we gotta go, bro. And I got reservations. They got reservations. I'm hungry. I'm about to go. Hey, y'all go ahead and wrap this up real quick and quit playing. And I do wonder, as a quarterback, if your coach is struggling in any way, shape, or form in that area, how does that affect you? Because if your coach ain't sure, you know, and my
Mm,
thing with that is, come on, Andy, be Andy.
yeah,
You
yeah,
definitely one of the greatest offensive minds ever. But don't
yeah.
overdo it.
Stop,
And
stop, stop leaving the door open for these
yeah,
teams and giving them
please
hope,
just
man. And
go
like,
to the
oh, we got the
ball.
ball back, yeah.
Nobody
And
would do it for us if
for,
these guys could,
they going for it on fourth down.
bro. They have no respect for the fact, like, I thought about the field goal. Like, not to be funny or nothing, but the Falcons could have easily, lost that game. Why would you, or not the Falcons, I take
The
that back.
Chiefs, yeah. If they had to kick that field goal instead of trying to go for
Well,
it.
no, it was the game. It was actually the game it was New York Giants and Philadelphia.
Mm,
But my thing with it was, or was that Philadelphia? I might be getting it wrong. I think it was Philly and the Giants. I'm not 100% sure. But you kick this field goal and the kid misses it. But you give the New York
mm.
Giants the ball significant. I'm thinking, man, all that takes is just one play. And people are out here flexing their muscles. Tell you what, Philly, do that against Kansas City in that position and see what happens. And you be very. I mean, you gave these guys the ball on the 41-yard line based off of a kick that you probably hope that your guy normally makes. But this time he missed. I mean, he had just made like a 60 plus yarder. He kicks a 60 this time and
Mm.
he misses it.
Yeah, thankfully we have one of, if not the best kickers in the league. Dallas has Aubrey. That dude is a beast, but I don't like depending on kicks when it was like you could have gotten that first down or called a better play call to put your players in position to continue to put your foot on the opposition's neck, man, and just end the game. And so I don't like settling for that. We know Buck is a great kicker, man, but there's gonna be a time where, like, what if he doesn't make it? What if
If you
he
don't,
kicks it wide left or wide right, or it bangs off the thing, you know what I'm saying,
and
or it
you
gets
don't,
blocked.
and you
So
don't want to deal with that.
don't want to
You know
deal
what I'm
with
saying?
that. So
You don't want to deal with that. We
mhm.
saw that. And like Philadelphia, can and let me make sure I'm getting it right. I'm sorry. Dallas. It was Dallas, not Philadelphia. My apologies.
Mhm.
But Dallas can say what they want. Yeah, you happy for that victory, but let's keep it 100. I'm along the lines of some of the commentators. I don't believe in Dallas shit because there's nothing there for us that forces us to. And more than anything, you guys put them in a position where if New York had somebody other than Daniel Jones throwing the football, I mean, I'm just saying, you
Yeah.
can tell, like, dude has been given some leeway, but it's almost like he gets, they give him two of the most conservative, sure plays for him to choose from or run or something. And I'm like, dude, you just need to choose a play, go on about your business, and be happy. I just think that at the end of the day, man, you cannot do that. Let that, instead of it being the Giants, let that have been the Chiefs. You get a ball to Patrick Mahomes on the 41-yard line, and he still got over a minute left.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and if the score needed, that's one thing I'll say about, and we'll
Yeah.
end with this, is that the Chiefs are very, very good, if not the
Mhm.
the best team at situational football. Even if Mahomes hasn't been playing great that whole game, when the situation comes down to it and it calls for a play to be made, you can typically count on him and the
To
rest
rise
of the
up.
offense to rise up and make a play, and on the defensive side also. So these guys are used to adversity. Like these games, even though they've been close, it's going to help in the long run of them mentally, knowing that, like, yo, we've been here before multiple times and we know we can do it. We just got to make the play. And so that's what I'm confident in. I'm confident in our team, and I'm really
Are we
confident
wrong
in.
for that? Are we
No,
wrong?
no,
It
I
almost
mean,
it feels so different though. You
I
know what
mean,
I'm
they
saying?
just they make plays, man, and it comes down to coaching, because Andy Reid coaches situational football in training camp and puts them in, like, okay, this is the situation we're in. This is how it has to run. We gotta knock this out. Like, okay, and they run those plays and they practice that. So that comes with practice also, giving your players the confidence, like, yo, we did this in practice in training camp. I'm familiar with how this is supposed to go. And so I mean, you can't say enough about the coaching staff and them putting guys in just the position to be successful. That's why I just have so much confidence in our team to get this three-peat done and to make it back to the AFC championship game, especially if we get that one seed, because then you only have to win one game to make it to the AFC championship game.
And that's my thing is even with that, like I'm at a point where I think that the goal must be greater than just making it back. I think that the Chiefs, if
Oh
I'm the
yeah.
Chiefs, you make the goal greater by competing against yourself. Then the only thing you can do, in my opinion, to compete against yourself right now that's worthwhile is go undefeated.
Mm.
Go undefeated. Make that your goal because winning a Super Bowl for them, yes, it's a worthwhile goal. Certainly something that you want to be part of that undefeated season. But I look at Patrick Mahomes, and the only person he can compete against Will is himself.
Yeah.
You got to compete against yourself. So whatever that looks like, when you're happy that the person you're competing against, if that's yourself, is performing at that rate, so be it. But for right now, I'll take the Patrick you ain't happy with over any other quarterback in the NFL.
Most
Thank
definitely.
you, God. Thank you, Lord. Keep him safe, healthy, and strong.
Yes,
Bless him
sir.
and his family.
Mhm.
Because if this is you not happy, then I don't even want to be happy. I don't want, I don't want to be saying I don't want to be. If he happy, shoot, I'm overjoyed.
And that's a wild
I
thing.
just
Like,
don't understand, bro. The
yeah,
dude is still ball.
yeah. His C game is like just as good as guys A game out here. So just like,
Yeah,
once he gets back to that, I'm not concerned about it, man.
nah,
He's a winner, he's a competitor, and he always wants to do well and has desire to do well, and he puts the onus on himself and he holds himself accountable. And so that's something that we know that's going to get corrected. So, all right, man, that's what we got today for Red and Bold. We are going to do
yes, sir.
shout outs, of course. Shout out to our sponsor. Actually, shout out to our sponsor, Ozell Brand. Be sure to check out Ozell Brand at ozellbrand.com. He has fashion sneakers and cleats for football and soccer. So if you have a kid, or even you as an adult, if you playing some sports, anybody playing sports, playing, you need cleats. ozellbrand.com. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. So make sure you check out ozellbrand.com. Also, shout out to Greedy Man's Barbecue, man. Greedy had a watch party for that Falcons and Chiefs game. I was there. Might show up, throw a little footage on there, but we had a great time, man, watching the
Yeah,
game. There's some other Falcons fans there too. But we held it down, had a good time, good food at Greedy Man's Barbecue. So shout out to what is that? Always on point pressure washing, my guy Reggie. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, metro area, you need your house pressure washed, need your windows cleaned or anything, check out Always on Point Pressure Washing. You know what I'm
true.
saying? And I forgot what the slogan was that quick. I just went, my mind went blank. But shout out to my guy Reggie. And shout out to if you I forgot, I wish I had said this when people was in town, but my church, Cumberland Community Church, man. If you're looking for somewhere to go, worship and praise the Lord and learn the word and straight from the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Check out Cumberland Community Church in Smyrna, Georgia. We love to have you. Come as you are, man. Come as you are. And the Lord loves you. If ain't nobody told you, the Lord loves you. You are special. You have
Say
meaning. You
what?
have value. You are uniquely and wonderfully made. You are a masterpiece. All right, now. And so, coming to community church, our slogan is we are redeemed messy people, pointing other messy people to the gospel of Jesus Christ. So, yeah. All right, Joe, it's on you, big baby.
Yeah, man. For me, I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I want to give my first shout out to my son, JoJo. Played his first organized football game on Tuesday. Go Gators! Here in Blue Springs, Missouri. Middle school team. Um, they are phenomenal. My son actually ended up playing left tackle for a couple of plays. Last minute touchdown throw for the B team. Won the game. A team won. These guys are doing big things. So shout out. Uh, to the again to the Gators here at middle school here in Blue Springs, Missouri. Great job. And then also again, all roads always lead to Christian Charity Church at 11,000 Ruskin Way, Kansas City, Missouri. Services starting at 10 a.m. If you can't come in, join us online, where our pastor is Arthur L. Mobley III, and we are looking forward to a great time that's coming Sunday. And if you have time, we hope to see you there. And then lastly, don't forget about J Mo's barbecue sauce, please.
I was just thinking about that. How
Check
you
us
just say
out.
my J-Mos?
Ain't nothing wrong. If you taste it, you won't waste it. It's it's JMOSBBQ .com. Honestly, guys, I think the greatest time to get out on your grill, if you are a grill master, is right now, kind of in the fall, where it's not so warm, but it's not so cold, but just right. I think it adds flavor and lets you, keep whatever you're cooking at a nice temperature that allows you to, really savor the moisture that you can get started there in your pitting on your firebox. Matter of fact, I got some St. Louis style ribs that I'm about to go get on
All right.
here in
Okay.
just a little bit. Matter of
Okay.
fact, just a little tip. They got them on sale at Fairway Meat Market this week for $1.99 a pound. St. Louis style cuts, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my way. See you
All
over
right.
here, brother. They look good.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
y'all. So get
Anyway,
that
blessings, Will.
sauce. Get
Yeah.
that sauce, man. J-Mo's barbecue, JMOSBBQ.com. Get that
Yes,
sauce.
sir.
Upgrade your meats. You said
Yes,
if you
sir.
taste it, you won't taste it.
You
All
won't
right.
waste.
All right, man. We about to get out of here, man. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. This is Red and Bold. Be sure to follow us on Twitter X, at Red and Bold, at REDANDBOLD.
Go Chiefs.
Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We talking Chiefs ball all day. Shoot us an email or something. Comment on this video on YouTube right now. You know what I'm saying? Shoot us a comment. We'll respond. You know what I'm saying? Email address is redandboldpodcast@gmail.com. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. We love y'all. Thank you for watching. Holla back.
Love y'all.
Now, I know some people like to grill out, but the question is, do you know how to barbecue? I mean, can you take your meats to another level? Because you see, barbecuing is an art form, and the finishing touch is always the sauce. That's why you need J Mo's barbecue sauce with its savory, sweet, and tasty glaze. Get lost in the sauce. Order now at JMOSBBQ.com. J Mo's Barbecue and Grill. Upgrade your meats. Born and raised in Kansas City, and there's only one team I root for. On game day, you'll see me in my Chiefs gear. To complete the fit, you gotta have the right kicks. And for me, that's Ozell brand. They have the look and the feel of excellence. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.